falconry is. Let me make that clear. It's hunting with a bird of prey. It's taking a bird out in a manner of teamwork, a partnership, to catch natural food. In the case of the redtail, she's a big, powerful bird. She's able to catch things roughly as large as a rabbit. So I focus on bigger prey. I encourage her to catch things like rabbits and squirrels. Now, today, you know, when she catches something, nothing goes to waste because she helps me feed all these other birds natural food. Obviously, I don't need to eat a rabbit, but nothing goes to waste. But when you think about it, falconry started over 4,000 years ago, and back then it was very important because it was a way of survival. You know, these birds were one of man's first hunting partners, so to speak. By training that bird to go out on a daily basis and catch natural prey, now he catches something like a rabbit, that's a very big meal. The bird can't eat that all at one time, it doesn't need it. So I give that bird a portion, what it needs for the day, and again, the rest of that fresh meat goes home to feed the birds. But back in the old days, when there were no stores and there were no restaurants, if you wanted to eat meat, you had to go out and hunt for it, and you did it without. Birds of prey serve that purpose. They help people bring home fresh meat to feed the family on a regular basis. And with that said, I can tell she's hungry, so I'm going to take her and I'm going to take one walk around with her and allow her to get a little something to eat. And that will give me the opportunity to take the hood off. So the hood, what you just saw Teddy take off the bird, is called a hood. Now, it's kind of like a custom-made hat, but it's called a hood because it covers a bird's eyes. The bird can't see anything with the hood on. And the hood is a very important tool. You're never going to be able to get that all down. She tries to swallow huge pieces that she can't swallow, and then she finds out she can't. She has to grab them with her foot. But of course, she can't explain that to a bird. So the hood, her hood, for example, lightweight leather, fits her head comfortably and perfectly. And all it does is cover her eyes. Now, the reason for this is to keep things positive. In other words, if a bird like this with powerful instincts, if she gets frightened, remember she can react in any way to anything she sees. It could be somebody in the audience, it could be something you're wearing. If she becomes frightened, what am I to do? I can't explain that there's nothing to fear. I can't explain that you mean no harm, that you're just curious, you're here to learn. What I can do is put this hood on. It makes the problem go away instantly. Out of sight, out of mind for a bird of prey. No matter what's going on around us, with the hood on, she's completely calm. It doesn't work the same way for owls because owls are sound-oriented. They're not necessarily going to be affected by the hood the same way. You know, people sometimes see me put the hood on a bird and they think, oh, that's cruel. Now, actually, it's the most important thing I can do for the bird in certain situations. To be cruel would be to stand here talking about a bird that was obviously frightened of something that it sees. Put the hood on, calms the bird down. It's a way of very quickly turning a negative situation into a positive one. That's the problem. Sometimes people think that the animals think like we do and vice versa. That's not the way it is. You know, if somebody covered your head suddenly and you were in the dark, you might get frightened. You're frightened of the unknown, of what you can't see. Birds don't think that way. They think the opposite way. They're more likely to be frightened of what they can see. And you can see she's enjoying her beef. Now, I'm feeding her steak because it's a little reward, it's a little treat here, and making this a positive experience because, again, she's not worried about you. She's focused on her food. But I can't just go to the store and buy a piece of steak or chicken to feed the bird on a daily basis. It works as a reward or a treat. But on a daily basis, they need whole foods. In other words, whole animals to survive. She has to eat whole rodents because meat alone is not a balanced diet. It's not nutritionally complete. In other words, if she caught something small like a mouse, she'd tear it apart and swallow it down piece by piece. She'd get something from every part of that meal. She'd get protein from the bone, protein from the meat, calcium from the bone, vitamins and minerals from all the organs, and even the fur would serve a purpose. I'm making her work hard for that last little bit. Even the fur would serve a purpose. Whatever the birds can't digest becomes a little ball in her stomach of bone and fur called a pellet. And they will actually cough that up the following day after a large meal, and that cleans out the system. So they're very efficient when they eat. Okay, so I'm going to let her swallow this last piece. That's why I don't stand here and feed each bird its whole meal during the show. We'd be here all day. Some of them really take their time when they're eating. Others do very, very quickly. And once she's had her meal, hood goes back on.
The hood comes off. What if she flies upside down?
Straps on the back, loosen it and tighten it, make it fit properly, and the little thing on the top is just a handle for taking it off and putting it on.